Volkswagen offers a lot of SUV options. I count 8 of them if you include Volkswagen's electric models. And today I'm picking this one, the Volkswagen T-Cross. It's Volkswagen's smallest and cheapest SUV, so you might like to think of it as a Volkswagen Polo in roughy-tufty fancy dress. And that really isn't a bad thing, is it? Like the Polo, it's compact at just 4.1 metres, but unlike the Polo, it's got just enough of that square-jawed SUV look, an upright SUV stance to give a bit of a mini Touareg vibe. And yet, Volkswagen doesn't seem to be selling many of them in the UK. In 2024, Volkswagen UK sold fewer than 8,000 of these cars, and yet sold more than 3 times that in Tiguan's. So does this mean the T-Cross is no good, or is it an overlooked gem that you should get instead of a Ford Puma, Nissan Juke or Renault Captur? Well, first impressions in here are reasonable. Cars built up to 2024, like this 2023 one, have a dashboard that is almost a carbon copy of the Volkswagen Polo. And then cars newer than that have a redesigned dashboard, which is almost like the T-Rocs. It's like a miniature version. Either way, the plastics and other materials feel durable, if not exactly high-end. And the presence of physical switches, dials and shortcut buttons is a good thing, and it makes everything just a little bit more usable. And we like the fact that there isn't loads of functions buried into the touchscreen like a lot of modern cars are. Just don't expect much in the way of design flair, but then you wouldn't expect that from a Volkswagen, and it's kind of reassuring. There have been lots of trim level tweaks and changes over the years, but the most basic S equipment grade was dropped early on, and most T-Crosses are pretty well equipped. This one is a black edition and has adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring and wireless Apple CarPlay. And whatever trim level you go for, every T-Cross either has this 8-inch touchscreen or a 9.2-inch in the facelifted models. It's pretty no-nonsense and easy to use and avoids flashy gimmicks in favour of simplicity. And the same can be said for the digital dash, which can look a little bit bare, but it is pleasingly easy to get used to. There's a bit of a party trick that the T-Cross has. No, I was getting a bit excited there that we were going to have a party. We're not, it's just a trick. Anyway, most small SUVs do not have this feature where you can move the seats all the way forwards to give more boot space. I mean, I could sit here probably just about, I'm 5'4.5". And if you move them all the way back, you get more leg room. And then we could have 2 Tim Roadies, one there and one here. 2 Tim Roadies. Aside from space, there's 2 sets of USB sockets, 2 matte pockets, which I like to put colouring in books in, and actually a lot of cars only have 1, not 2, so that's really good. And there's 2 sets of Isofix in the back and 1 in the front, so that's 3 in total. Great for triplets. In the boot, there is a theoretical class-leading 455 litres of space, with these back seats slid all the way forwards. But you're probably not going to have the seats like that all too often because you lose valuable legroom. With the seats slid all the way back, you get 385 litres of space, which is a little bit less than a Ford Puma, but more than a Volkswagen Polo. In fact, it's about the same as a Volkswagen Golf, which is a bigger car. And you get this, an adjustable boot floor. And then when you put it to the raised up position, barely no load lip. Engines for the T-Cross are all petrol powered and most are the 1 litre turbocharged. There are no diesels and no hybrid options. There are some 150 horsepower 1.5 litres which will go from 0 to 60 in 8.4 seconds, but that's probably the most you'll ever want or need in a car like this. Most T-Crosses have power outputs somewhere between 95 and 115 horsepower, and this example happens to deliver 110 horsepower via a 6-speed manual, which gets 0 to 60 in 10.8 seconds. But it's perfectly sprightly for everyday driving. Its only weak point being a very long and slow 6th gear, which means you might need to change down a gear or two if you're going on an uphill motorway slip road. Some engines come with the option of a DSG automatic, but we find it can be a little sluggish in its response. So unless you really don't want a left leg workout, we'd stick with the manual. And the upside of that tall gearing in the manual, good fuel economy, with 45 to 50 miles per gallon genuinely achievable on most models. As for ride and handling, it's not exactly exciting, but the car does feel stable and there's very little body roll. Plus, the control weights are light, which makes it easy to drive, and it's comfortable too. It absorbs the lumps and bumps in the road, and there's only a slight fidget over some potholes, which can spoil things a little bit in town. The T-Cross then is pure core Volkswagen, sturdy, well thought out and easy to live with. So why then does Volkswagen not sell more of these in the UK? I really don't know, but I think it should.